Live, I'll go. Let's see. Yo, Big Jeeps.
Yo, what's going on? What's going
Back
on?
Talk, episode 9, brother. We got a lot going on today.
Yeah,
Starting the show a little, I guess, with a bang, so to speak, man. Corey will be with us shortly for those of you who tune in just to see him because he is very pretty. It's Jeeves and I for now, but Corey will be here shortly. Real quick, we want to start the show, like I said, with a bang. We got a lot of stuff lined up for you guys. We're going to matchmake, do some fantasy matchmaking later on in the show. But we want to start with a big story in Power Slap. As
yes.
my good friend here, Big Jeeves, called it, a different kind of Power Slap match. So real quick, before I bring him on, it came out this week that obviously we know, both Cole Young's son as well as Andrew Field's daughter are suffering from the same rare disease that affects their liver. And Cole Young obviously was a match for his son, which is perfect scenario. In this case, incredible, story to be able to tell. Jesse Nutting, a lot of people put their name in the hat, but Jesse Nutting, who we haven't seen since last summer against Azael. In fact, we didn't really even see him because it was a tape match, so we saw it later on. But we haven't seen him in Power Slap in a little while, but he's still been around. He threw his name in the hat. Jesse actually went and flew from Washington State to Pittsburgh, got tested, and is a perfect match for the daughter of Andrew Fields. So Jesse has selflessly agreed to give a portion of, or we'll find out the details of that, of his liver to Andrew Field's daughter, Aubrey. Man, I literally couldn't
Amazing.
even. So let's get Jesse on here without further ado.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, Jesse, man?
No beard. Feeling a little naked over here.
Feeling a little naked, but man, you probably feel good, like being able to help out your bro Andrew and his daughter Aubrey. Turns out you're a match. I know that means a lot to them. Tell us from your end, like how did it all go down, man? What made you do it?
Well, I saw his post that he didn't have the same blood type, and that they're looking for someone with blood type O. And I'm like, I got blood type O. I'm a good guy. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. Why don't I just try to sign up for this and see what's up? They called me. They asked me to fly out there. I did some preliminary tests, some imaging and everything. And they're going to, on the 14th, I'm going to do the surgery and donate 25% of my liver to Aubrey.
Amazing, bro. That like when we found out about this, I was like, yeah, this is like a different type of Power Slap match. Like people have seen the camaraderie, but they don't understand how tight you guys actually are. Like this is some real like family brother type shit that you're willing to do for Andrew. And like we've seen like from our end what Andrew and Cole have gone through with something like this. So man, this is huge. I commend you for stepping up and being the brother that would do this for him.
I feel like it's human decency. Anybody that is a decent human and has the ability to do this would do this for them.
So just to clarify, Jesse, you're giving, how much of your liver are you giving to Aubrey?
25% of the liver is going. They're going to cut the right portion of it out.
Nice.
And you said this is on the 14th, right?
Yes.
And what's the expectation for recovery? Kind of how long it'll put you on the show?
About 3 months. It takes about 12 weeks to fully recover.
All right. And while we were waiting, we got our third member here, Corey.
What's up? What's
Hey,
happening, boys?
big dog.
What's up, buddy?
I had an ill-timed power outage, and everything on my computer got completely reset. So a little late, but never. But Jesse, it's been a little while since we've seen you, clean shaven. Missed the first part of this, but I hear you're fighting, causes that are bigger than yourself. I commend you for it, my man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Did you guys get into like the whole reason why? How did it come about? How did you find out you were a match? All that stuff.
Yeah, Jesse was just letting us know, man. Like It was one of those things where he threw his name in the hat. And how much? Let's go over that amount again, Jesse. How much you giving up? How much of your liver?
25% of my liver. I was literally the first person to sign up, and I kind of was scared at first because they can only go through one person at a time. And I was like, damn, if I'm the first person, I don't want to be using up all of our time, so I better be a good match.
Awesome, man. Congrats, man. That's great to hear, dude. So because obviously you guys probably went over when it's taking place, all that stuff.
Yeah, 2 weeks. May 14th.
Cool.
And so you flew from Washington to Pittsburgh. What kind of testing do they do for that? I mean, is it blood? Is it just blood? Like, do they need to biopsy something? What are they doing to get ready for a match?
They took about 7 to 8 things full of blood to test for all these different tests. They did X-ray, EKG. They did all the imaging of my chest and everything to make sure everything fit in her. They wanted to make sure the liver wouldn't be too big, so a bunch of the imaging was the biggest concern of what they had to do.
Bro, what a way to come back. I think this is probably the greatest return we've ever seen. Like I said, Chief said it best, a different kind of power slap match. I think we all here, speak on the behalf of the whole team, when we say, thank you so much to you, man. That's an incredibly selfless thing for you to do. You're an OG, man. You came from the beginning. Andrew came a little bit later on. I don't know, how deep your relationship is, but I do remember seeing your comment saying, yeah, I'm in. And so it's just crazy to see you kind of cash in and stand on your word and go the whole distance. You got an operation schedule. I mean, most people wouldn't do it, man. I know you said that it's the most human thing to do, but realistically, I just don't think everybody sees it that way. I think that a lot of people are more kind of concerned about what it will do to them. And you just decided that you wanted to take the risk here for the betterment of a child who, unfortunately has this illness.
I mean, she has a full life ahead of her. I've lived most of my life already, so why not let her have the same experience I've had my whole life? Let her live one.
Yeah, man, that's deep. Like we've said this time and time again already while we've been talking. It's like you're doing something that's bigger than you, and I hope everyone watching, people can maybe take a page out of your book, because like we all said, like this is actually you standing on business. You're not just talking about being a nice person. You're not just online goading people. You're out here like, I'm actually doing this.
Yeah, so let's get a reaction real quickly from Andrew himself here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to add, some families have to go through hundreds of applicants, which can take years. Some people wait for 5 years and still never end up finding one in time. Crazy how it all worked out. So I mean, realistically, man, like you're single-handedly, changing this family's life, right? I'm sure before this all this developed, their prognosis for what was going to happen in the next couple of years, based on what the doctors say, probably wasn't the greatest. And you've given them a new look on life, man. And I think that's such it's something that many of us never get to experience. We never get to give someone life that way. And so I'm just, like I said, you've kind of been in the wings. And so for you to just come out of nowhere and kind of, be able to provide this for somebody, especially just based on where the relationship stemmed from. Honestly, I mean, I expect to see this. Somebody should pick this story up and write about it, whether they like power slap, whether they don't. I mean, this is stuff that you write in movies. So again, hats off to you. We wish you well and the best luck in your procedure. I know you mentioned to me offline, you expect that, you'll be back around September. You'll be able to compete. Whether or not you'll be back, we don't know when and where. But we do want to, wish you well. And again, thank you so much for doing this, brother.
Hey, I got that passport coming, man. Bring me to Abu Dhabi next. Throw my name in that hat too.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
that would be a nice way right after you're done recovering, hop on a plane, enjoy some Abu Dhabi. I think that could happen because, hey, this whole situation happened because of power slap. You guys might have never crossed paths otherwise and led to something like this. So shout out you, Jesse. Shout out power slap.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate it.
It's not all just viral knockouts, man.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse. Thanks so much for joining us, my brother. Much love to you. We'll be watching to see what you do next, man.
Appreciate you guys. Much love.
Much love, brother.
Guys, take care, man.
Corey, where you been, dog? We were waiting for you. The show was about to not go on. Come on, man.
Bro, it's always gonna happen. And come on, man. You don't even need to make the show
country.
Yeah, no, I was just sitting here, man. The power in the entire studio went out like 10 minutes before the show. Every setting on this computer reset. My Wi-Fi wasn't coming back. Hopefully it's good and ready to go now. couple of minutes late. I guess better than never to make an appearance. As always, man, we got to keep on rolling every single week. Smack Talk. Or I guess we're kind of coming into those dog days between power slap events. And you know what? We got to keep on moving the sticks. There's stuff happening. Guys are baking and shaking. So I think it's always great that we're here to talk about the sport and see where it's moving and evolving. I think, a lot of the strikers that watch here know that we definitely are pounding those DMs, pounding the messages, trying to figure out what's happening, what's going on to bring you guys the latest information that we absolutely can. Great to have Jesse on, like we said earlier. So really cool to see that. And let's just keep the show moving. We've talked a lot about the champions, and what we think could potentially come. We prognosticated Power Slap number 8 and where we think some of the matchups might come. Do they make sense for title holders? Do we not? I kind of feel like we talked ad nauseum about that, and we've probably done it now the last 2 weeks, with some of the guys that, we think that should get back up there. But let's do something a little bit different. We're going to do the Who's Next. It was a series that we've done before in the past. We're going to get a little bit deeper into the roster. Obviously, there's a ton of talent. One guy who's just there in the chat. So let's start with him. Who's next in the middleweight division version of Static? AJ Hints. We got a couple guys that we think might be in that mix. Isaiah Quiones, Brandon Bordeaux, Wesley Drain, or who else could it be? Ding. What do you think, my man? Static coming off that DQ victory against Azael Rodriguez.
Know what? The truth is, I think that we'll have a best friends rivalry between Jeeves and AJ, man. I think something will go wrong, and I think Jeeves will get up there and he'll have to defend himself, man.
Yeah. I could never drop that low.
Well, we've already seen. So Jeeves has made it clear he will slap somebody for $5,000, and then he's going to pull a Paul Teague. So
100%.
If someone bows out, they don't recoin toss. So if Static loses the coin toss and his opponent doesn't make it, we have a willing competitor here in Big Jeeves. So it may happen, and we're already going to down the betting line that he's going to Paul Teague everybody. So there should be a prop bet. Will Jeeves Paul Teague?
I'm gonna have to go hit him up for the dojo at Dave and Buster's and be like, "Yo, bro, teach me all your ways. I need this."
So Paul Teague did leave a long-lasting impression on Power Slap.
Yeah, bro, legendary.
He did.
But yeah, let's get that graphic up, man. There's some good matchups that could be solid matchups here for Static. Like, first up, we have Isaiah. Like, they're both new entrants to the middleweight. I think that's a great match. It makes a lot of sense to have them kind of cement themselves as that new entry and go against themselves because they were from the same division.
Yeah, I mean, I see a comment today that I think is incredibly valid. Isaiah Quiones, the only person to take 2 fouls from Russell and still stand up.
Yeah.
So dropping down the middle, definitely interesting. Obviously, he's still going to retain a lot of that toughness going down. He seems to be in good shape. He doesn't even cut a ton of weight to make it down the middle either. So the more that he sits here at middleweight, potentially the stronger he could become. A guy like Static, I mean, why not? I mean, we haven't seen Isaiah. We've seen him against Russell. We've seen Russell rise to the top of that division. Kind of an intersection right now of guys in their career path. Even Static with, coming off a victory probably wasn't, how he wanted it, but a win's a win. And, a guy like Isaiah who's continuing to climb those ranks. Did they update the rankings yet with Isaiah in it?
No.
But I think it's safe to say that Isaiah, I don't care, Jeeves, do you care if we say where Isaiah's slated?
No, I think like he's confirmed with us that there is definitely a mistake there, and he should be there.
Yeah, I believe he said number 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. So so we can see kind of an intersection taking place there, and very well could be a great match. Otherwise, Ding.
You know what? I'm going to throw a little bit of a wild card in here. I do like Bordeaux. I think that would be a great matchup, but I don't see why it would be fair to say Bordeaux and not Brahimir. However you say it, Spaghetti. I don't know. Like, you can't. I don't know how you can justify one over the other if they had to draw their last fight. Not to say I don't like to see Brandon Bordeaux, or I just, again, being fair, I don't know how you pick one over the other because they had a draw. But hear me out. We released it. If you guys haven't seen it, check out our Instagram page. That interview will be coming presumably tomorrow in full between Manny and Vern. Vern confirmed he can make 185. Isn't so sure that he wouldn't do it. So what if you saw AJ versus Vern rematch at 85 and see if anything's different than the first time they fought? Because that was a big fight. Remember, they fought for the first light heavyweight championship.
Yeah, I mean, that would be electric. The only thing I would say to that to rebut it is that Vern coming off 2 victories, I think his status that he has right now, potentially, dropping down could be worthy of a championship matchup. So that would be my only thing is I think he could slide there. What do we think? Could Static be in line for John Davis? I know it's a DQ victory, but there's a question mark there, and we kind of go back and forth on it. Could, with his track record being a previous, title holder at light heavy, could he have done enough in the past to warrant a title shot?
I'm going to go with yes, if his match went a spectacular way. Like he did win that last one coming down to middleweight. I think the sport would have appreciated if Static really put a stamp on his entry into middleweight. I think that might hold him back an event or two. But yes, Corey, I do believe that he deserves a shot at that title, being a past champion and having the resume that he does.
Yeah. And I mean, the last one on the graphic, Wesley Drain, he's not always pretty, not the most well-spoken guy, but he takes care of business every time that he's up there. He still holds the title of being one of the only guys to knock somebody out in slides, which I think is kind of awesome. But I mean, Wesley takes care of business, my man. Last time we seen him up there, ton of confidence being exuded. We know he's chomping at the bit and he wants another opportunity, against John. And so, be interesting to kind of see who he gets pegged up against next. I actually think Brandon Bordeaux, Wesley Drain would be a great matchup, actually. But if Vern could come down Static and they run that, wouldn't be too shabby either. But this one's all about Static. Let's go around the horn. If you want to see Static's next matchup, one name and one name only, who would it be?
Let's see it, chat. Throw it in there. Who do you think Static should go up against?
That's thrown to you, Jeeves.
Oh, you're throwing it to me? I thought you were throwing it to the chat. Okay. If it's one of these three,
anybody,
I'm going to go with Isaiah. I think I really like that match, and I'd love to see these two dudes go at it being OGs. I like that one.
Ding, name.
I'm going to go Brandon Bordeaux.
Go Brandon Bordeaux. I'm going to finish off, I think, Isaiah. So the difference of opinion on all of it, I think Isaiah would be a great matchup. So, all right, moving on. Let's go up to the light heavyweight division. Alan Klingbeil coming in short notice, taking care of business against Colton Cole, putting himself back on that map, and getting himself in a position to go up against the top 5 combatant, Russell Rivera, Garrett Blakesley, Delvin Helmut, or somebody else. Geez, let's start out with you. What's next?
The first one we got that big power from Russell, man, and we've Alan. He's got a great record. He comes in, takes care of business. And last event, we saw a lot of energy from Alan, and that was so refreshing to see him get out of his shell a little bit and really show that aggression. But we've seen what happens when guys get in front of Russell, man. He seems to be that hard wall that guys run into. So I'd love to see that match. I think Russell probably wouldn't. We know what Russell wants, but I think that's a great match for Alan to really get himself up that ladder a little bit more.
Ding.
I think it would be negligent to pick anything else. I think Russell 100%. But I will say I would not mind seeing Delvin Hamlet give him a chance to get back up there against the top of the division. Obviously, he came up short against Vern. I think Klingbeil is a bit closer to his frame compared to Vern. I think that would be a fair matchup to give both of these guys an opportunity. This is an interesting take.
Very interesting take.
Alan versus TJ. I actually think Delvin Helmet is a great matchup for Alan Klingbeil. I think those are going to be two strong son of a bitches that are going to go at each other and be an incredibly entertaining match. Back and forth. I think Russell's in line for a title shot. I can't see him really doing anything else outside of the winner next of Wolverine Austin. I think Russell's done a lot in the sport and continues to rack up victories. And I think he just continues to go up. And I just think Delvin Helmet is one of those guys that we are going to see again. I think we're going to see him move potentially up in competition. I'm trying to see because the website seems to still be out of date because they're showing Klingbeil at 7. I can't get to the IG. Can someone see it of what it is?
Oh yeah. 1 second.
But I like Delvin. We're seeing that he's still staying active. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last time we seen him was against Vern Cathy, correct? So
yes. Power Slap 6.
Seeing guys with the intersection there. I think it'd be a great match all around. There hasn't been too much.
Allen at 5. Allen at 5. Blakesley at 4. Vern at 3. Russell at 2. Austin Turpin at 1.
Yeah, well, we know Blakesley's still injured, so we know that's not happening anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry, boys.
All good, my man. All good. But all right. Do we want to move over? We touched on them already.
Russell we got Rivera. Some heavy hands coming up. Yep.
Go, Jeeves. Take it, my man.
All right, man. This one, Russell Rivera, bro. Like I said, he's that guy that, doesn't matter how much hype you have, you go against him and he finds a way to put you down. So this one, I think he had a great showing at Power Slap 7, and puts him in a great position to pretend. Like, again, we know that the Wolverine Terp 3 is going to happen again. So let's go to Vern. I think it's a great match for Vern. He's coming off 2 wins. Russell's also coming off the hype of his last win. And then one for Ding, we included Allen in here because we feel pretty strongly about an Allen and Russell match would be nutty as well for Power Slap 8.
Dude, what's his nickname? The Comeback Kid. Sorry, I didn't want to mess that up. The Comeback Kid is spitting facts over here, man.
What's he got?
Russell versus Austin Turpin. If this, remember, and I think I might have said this at some point as well, but Wolverine said that his preference was that he sees that Terp can make 205 again before they do the rematch. If that's the direction that they go, and I know a lot of fans share that sentiment, we did a poll and it was pretty close, but most people edged it out and said they thought that he should take one more match. But it was very close between yes, he should get the next title shot and he should fight another fight. If Austin Turpin is to fight another fight, this is the challenge you give him. This will really tell you what the top of the division is. And I think those are 2 of the biggest, if not the biggest stars in Power Slap. You put those guys up together, not only do you raise the stock of the whole company and all the strikers, but you also give these guys an opportunity to really figure out who's the best light heavyweight ready to challenge the champion, Wolverine. Yeah,
and if I could just, to my point of Russell being that guy, we've seen Terp take some hits, so I like that one. Shout out Amir.
Yeah, listen, I don't think we came out here and gave everybody the disclaimer, but we spit fire out here. Yeah. And I'm gonna give Amir credit because his text came before my mouth opened, but I agree, and that was something that we talked about behind the scenes. I think that matchup, I mean, I'd pay for it. Mm-hmm. Make me pay for it. I'd pay for it.
Yeah, I think Vern Cathy makes a lot of logical sense if Russell isn't going to be shelved until Austin Wolverine is kind of depicted. I mean, we've seen Russell take long periods of time away from the sport, so it wouldn't be surprised if he does kind of sit in the realms and wait. But Vern and him, definitely 2 OG guys that would battle it out, which would obviously be a very clear number 1 contender for that next step, should it be. I mean, both those matchups, phenomenal. Love Allen, but I think it's a bit too much of a step up in competition for him at this moment. I think I'd like to see him, Russell, I think deserving so with the amount of match that he has, is probably going to fight someone a little bit higher up in the ranks. That's really going to cement him there in that light heavyweight division. All right. So my favorite part of the show is the garage sale report.
Hey, what do we got going on this week, Corey?
Every single week, as always. It's the special that I like, but we got the battle of the cars right now. We've got Joe Landman listing a 2012 Volkswagen Jetta. So if you find yourself in PA in need of a Jetta, $5,500 large can get you into this beautiful bad boy. Actually, Amir Nuruddin's in the chat. He had a car for sale, actually, at one point. He might be mad that we're not giving him the props and promoting his caddy that he had for sale.
Was it a caddy? Oh, no.
It was a caddy, I'm pretty sure, man. Yeah.
Getting rid of his caddy.
Yeah. And then on the right, Bear Bennett will not be outdone selling a 2016 Honda Civic 6-cylinder, asking $4,000 clean title.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend that. I don't know what you guys thinking from a Canadian perspective, but that's a fucking steal of a deal. $4,000 for a Civic that's within 8 years, and apparently he's got another wrong with it. I don't know what he needs money for, but that's 100%. Whoever's selling that shit, they need something because that's a deal.
So there we go. Ding, our American car expert is saying Bear Bennett's got a better deal than Joe Landman. So we'll see. But we got one more. Who's next? Can't forget. The king has risen again.
He's back.
Mr. Ryan Phillips. We've talked a little bit about it, but not too much. I mean, do we think he's deserving of a title shot against the champion? Damon DeBell once again running back. Do we think Dorian Perez has done enough to continue to be relevant to fight Mr. Ryan Phillips? Or do we think Dwayne Crespo, who seems to keep on racking up victories since his loss against Nate, has he done enough to put himself in a position to go up against Ryan Phillips in this one? Ding.
This never happens, it seems, but I'm agreeing with Amir again.
Wow.
And I've said this on the record before, so I'm not giving Amir credit for this one. But yeah, look, they're both coming off losses. They're friends, and they both hit hard, and they both got chins. This is a match. And I say, champion, no champion. I say you make this 5 rounds.
Yo, I'll say both those dudes are nuts, bro. Like when they're in there, they can take them and they can put them out. That might be to date one of our bloodiest matches. I think if you get your 5-round way, if that ends up happening, I really, really like that one. I also really, really like Ryan and Dwayne. That's a true OG match, in my opinion. Both these guys know this sport in and out. That might just crown like the king of Power Slap, like a non-champion king.
The BMF of Power Slap?
The BMF of Power Slap. Yeah. There you go.
Do you remember that they fought before?
They are. Exactly.
They fought. Yeah.
So you've seen enough, you want the rematch. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely an asterisk there. Come on. Ryan Phillips swinging left-handed in that match. Didn't swing right. Obviously didn't put Ryan down, went to a decision draw. Both guys obviously have come back and had, great careers, kind of went different ways. And I think it's time that they meet back again. I mean, they're both there 1-2 in the rankings. I think that would be a phenomenal match. For, like you said, a BMF, belt for Power Slap could be real relevant.
Yeah. Are we there yet?
I think both these guys could be real.
Trujillo's the BMF, bro, automatically. He doesn't even have to fight for it.
You think so? Will we see a cross weight?
Oh, that'd be nutty. Well,
get stilts and phone books and you go up against Phillips to battle it out.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
All right,
catch weight.
No, I think Dwayne makes a lot of sense. I think that'd be something I'd pay to see. Put a close to that chapter. We've seen them take shots at each other on social media. We've seen them be, co-hosts on a podcast. We've seen them be bitter enemies. Who knows where they actually lie behind the scenes? But I think all in all, to feed the souls of both of them, I think they would love it, to be honest. I think that's one that both those guys would get so excited for.
Oh yeah. And they've seen all the multiples, the variations of this sport throughout the time that they've been in it. So even if we did have that match with them, it was a older rule set. Things have evolved, things have changed. It'd be cool to see that one under today's standing.
Yeah. So we got power slap coach versus training coach. Could be exciting, my man.
That's not. Is that Turpin? Is that actually Turpin? Because his previous comment was this. So maybe it is. He's his own advocate. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Did you guys know Amir's confirming that him and KO Chris were supposed to fight in MMA years ago?
They were, yeah. That's a true story.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit. We'll have to save that one for Amir to come on one of these Tuesdays and share the details behind that one. Oh yeah, he's here. Oh, he's confirming that he is gonna be Turp Daddy Slim come whenever the next time we see him.
Okay.
Gotcha. Has Austin figured out how to use YouTube? Really? Wow. Anybody in the comment section? My man. Wow.
What does glass cannon mean? Anybody know? Glass cannon versus glass cannon? I'm not sure what he means by that.
Are you talking about injury prone?
No, I don't know. I don't know if they're saying like, poor jaw, but you hit hard. I don't really know what that means.
I'm not sure.
I'm always game, Turb. Look at that matchmaking, dude. Slap is matchmaking out here. Where's Erica at? Get her out of here.
We got to do an honorable mention for John. I will say this: the guy doesn't get as many matches as he stays ready for. I've never seen John say no to any of these fantasy matchups. And we talked about middleweight a bit. We didn't really touch the title holders this episode, but give John a match. Like, he's been so dominant. He's our only original champion left. And if Turp can make 185, bro.
Come on, bro. Let's work on 205 first, man. Let's get there. Once we get there, then we can go to 85. But you got a belt to go get at 205. I think everybody wants to see that. And I think you've earned it, if I'm being honest. Do we want to spoil some stuff here, boys, on our theory? Jeeves, you want to take it away with our little theory of what's happening in the latter part of the year?
Listen, this morning I had an epiphany. Didn't realize that you guys had this epiphany a few weeks ago. I felt so hyped this morning. I was like, boys, I'm on to something.
Well, you got it from somewhere. You just, you have amnesia crediting where from.
Exactly. Like it was subliminally, I knew it came from you guys, but I just pitched it like it was my idea. But go ahead. Since it was y'all, you guys go ahead. I'll let you guys have this moment. This wasn't me at all.
So just based on what Dana said in the post-fight press conference at Power Slap 7, the UFC event is October 26th in Abu Dhabi. There's been some information flowing through about passports for the strikers. That's been confirmed a lot of different ways. It's publicly. And so our prediction is that between the 23rd and the 25th of October, there will be, so either that Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, there'll be a slap event in Abu Dhabi. That will be their debut into the international scene. We don't know any more than that, but we assume the show will coincide with that. We're not really sure the details of that yet. Obviously, that hasn't even been discussed, but we assume that between now and then there'll be a show that will feature international fighters so that they can, meet up. And my assumption would be you'll see Danny, you'll see Merlis represent the international strikers. I'd actually love to see a U.S. versus the rest of the world, but I don't think that they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that. But I do think you'll see Danny, Merlis, the guys that we've seen. I asked this question earlier. I never got an answer. Corey, is Sean Kilmartin from Ireland? Do you remember?
I'm not 100% sure. He's.
I thought he was. I thought he was. Either way.
Italy, wasn't it?
Sure, something with an I. It's just not Iran or any of those. But I think like I said, I think you see Merlis, I think you see Danny, and I think you see whoever the new. Oh yeah, Brandon Bordeaux saying yes, he is. He was in the house with him. I believe him. Okay. Signed. He's from Ireland.
Right.
So I think we end up seeing a lot of those guys, kind of get put on that card, which may explain why we have not, and I predict will not see them over the summer. We haven't heard anything really from Merlis at all. Danny's very active. Maybe you get I think there's a taste for him. Maybe you get a fight with Danny this summer. I doubt it. I think that they really want to, if they're going to do international based on what, Dana has said, based on the timing, I think it makes sense that you get all these guys, past and present, who are from other countries. You really focus on putting them on this card, and then, sprinkle in a couple Americans here and there. A Canadian is considered international, so maybe you see Eddie Spaghetti. on that card. Yeah, pretty excited, man.
Yeah. Like basically this morning, it's like that movie from Beautiful Mind when they walk into the garage and he's just got all these newspaper clippings up and he's got lines for him. So for some reason this morning, all the information, all the stuff that we've been hearing, like all the stuff that's been developing, it all came together this morning. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. They can't start airing a new season with an event coming up, International Fight Week, June 28th. So it makes sense that if they
you got there me. It is. He got you with that one.
This is ADHD in practice, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens. So, but what I'm saying is, so yeah, if Ding, like you said, if they do have the show and they're recording it, they need 12 weeks to air all these episodes. And that kind of puts us where there's a UFC event already scheduled in Abu Dhabi. And just with everything that Dana said, with how days work and weeks and time, we could see a Power Slap event come Abu Dhabi in October.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys say except for the Danny Van Heeren. I think we see him back sooner than later. I think his star power is too great. I do see them bringing him back in that super heavyweight division, who is starving right now for a superstar to go up against a crazy Hawaiian. So I do think they pull him out of the wild country that South Africa is and all the crazy stuff that takes place down there. I think we see him, I think his stock is too bright. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at International Fight Week. I think he's that big of a personality that they want to put on display. Have we heard of Drakus at all coming back to fight anytime?
They're talking about Australia in that card is in August.
Okay. Not that I think that that's necessarily a parallel there between what Power Slap and what UFC would do, but I just think it's always neat to see if you can't have that parallel. Obviously, they fought together in the past, and I think there is definitely the opportunity to see him, and we'll see. I mean, I think we all are craving more events. We know in the post-fight press conference, Dana talked, about Lorenzo wanting to have more events, getting these guys more reps, and so we could see it last summer. They gave us one back-to-back 4 weeks apart from International Fight Week into the first week of August. So we know they have the ability and the propensity to be able to kickstart that up. And correct me if I'm wrong, I thought it was 8 live events as part of the Rumble deal. And so we may actually start to see after this event, or maybe before, they may announce either an extension to the Rumble deal or a new distribution for the rights to stream. So I wonder if that new broadcast deal could change the trajectory of some of this. From what and the only other thing that I know to that is that we potentially, I believe it was 3 seasons was part of Rumble. So we may actually have an extension of it until that 3rd season is finishing completed.
Yeah. You're right on the 8 numbered events, and we are coming up on, so we should see an announcement on that fairly soon. Before Power Slap 8, I'd say maybe that is probably maybe announcement they'll do at International Fight Week, make it a part of their press circuit. So keep our eyes open for that.
Yeah, because I think that's as far as the commitments that we were given. 8 live events, 3 road to the title. I'm pretty sure those were the early on metrics that were said. And we haven't heard anything too much about it. But I mean, obviously seeing the growth in the valuations, we don't think this is going anywhere anytime soon. So,
yeah, I mean, Dana, what did he say? What's the famous one? Bet on me to fail or something like that, right?
Yeah, bet on me. I fucking love it.
So I think he wants to prove a point here. Dude, Corey, you got to send an invoice to the brass, man. We got Bordeaux and AJ getting matchmaked here. We got Davis and Turp being matchmaked here in Abu Dhabi. Like, this is crazy. We're doing some good shit here.
Here's John with his allegedly. John's allegedly means he's going on his IG in about 30 minutes to confirm. So keeps all of his information.
Like, I'm a coach for Power Slap 7, allegedly.
20 minutes later, he's on his own IG promoting, I am officially the coach.
Do you think maybe if they do an Abu Dhabi card, they might do kind of like what they did at the Durango, where it would be a bigger card with maybe 12 matches? Oh, John, what are those?
John. Well,
What are
John.
those, Ding?
John. I think what is it? Bisping calls them. I mean, he doesn't use that term for John, but it's the same thing. The shit kickers.
Yes, those are John shit kickers that he won.
Do we know for sure who he's dropped in those?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he won the belt in those, my man.
Hey, there we go.
Slap number one. It only took me about 9 weeks to get these things in. Apparently, you come from Ohio to Canada. It takes 9 weeks with UPS. John, who did you beat it in those boots? John, let us know. But they are here. It's anonymous. There's actually a really good picture somewhere.
Have you sniffed them to confirm that they are the John Davis?
I have not, but I did have to put tape on them because there is actually official John Davis shit on the bottom of them.
Did you tape it on there? Keep it? Nice. That a boy.
There we go. We got Ohio manure that came on these boots.
That's the last guy that got shit kicked.
It officially came.
Oh shit. Somebody's got something to say about that. Dude, the only boots bigger than that are fucking rain boots, AJ.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, boys. We want to wrap up? What do we think? The comment section's on fire today, though. We got lots of characters.
Always wrap up, Corey. We've talked about this. You should always wrap it up, dude. You don't want kids.
Right. Yes.
No, yeah, there's a lot of engagement today.
There's too many good hooks, but I'll leave a Marinardino to this one for now. There's too many good hooks to go there, Ding. Because clearly he didn't heed your advice.
Amir Nerdine slapping something.
Yeah.
Slapping them walls, boy.
Doc Martens, that's not. Oh my god! I want them in the house and the weigh-ins to win the title. Yeah, okay.
There we go. All right, boys. Once again, great show.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Always keep rocking, my man. Keep doing a good deed.
Hey, don't